They were all laughing. His father. His brother. The executives gathered around the mahogany table, crystal glasses raised, celebrating his promotion to top salesperson. And him, my husband, standing at the head like a king addressing his court. "You know," he said, that smile spreading across his face, "my wife should really take notes. Learn from a real professional." More laughter. I held my wine glass. Didn't drink. Her biggest achievement. He paused for effect. Folding laundry on time. The room erupted. His father slapped the table. His brother doubled over. "Come on, we all know why she married you," someone called out. My husband grinned wider. "The money, obviously." I felt their eyes on me. Waiting for my reaction. Waiting for me to shrink. I smiled. "Relax," he said, walking over, squeezing my shoulder too hard. "It's just a joke." "Of course," I said softly. "Because jokes are fun. Especially when you're the only one who knows the punchline." It wasn't always like this. 3 years ago, he'd called me brilliant. Visionary. He'd loved that I came from money, from a family that built empires while his father still struggled to break even. When his father's company nearly collapsed, when bankruptcy lawyers were circling, he came to me. On his knees. Literally. "We need help," he'd said. "Just a loan. An investment. I'll pay you back. I promise." I'd looked at the numbers. The failing sales. The mismanagement. The desperation. And I'd seen opportunity. Not for love. For leverage. "I'll invest," I'd said. "But I want equity." He'd been so relieved he hadn't even read the paperwork carefully. 56%. I owned 56% of his father's company. But I never told him the exact number. The humiliation became routine. At dinners. At parties. In front of friends. I was the trophy wife who'd married for money. The woman who contributed nothing. The pretty, empty thing on his arm. I watched him grow bolder. Crueler. He started staying late at the office. Coming home smelling like perfume that wasn't mine. His assistant, I learned. 24. Blonde. Eager. He thought I was too stupid to notice. Too dependent to care. I said nothing. But I started attending board meetings. "Just want to understand the business," I'd told his father, all sweetness and curiosity. He'd patted my hand. "That's nice, dear." They never took me seriously. I didn't need them to. I needed them to keep talking while I took notes. While I documented every decision. Every financial misstep. Every liability. His father was a dinosaur running a dying business model. My husband was a mediocre salesman coasting on family connections. And I was the majority shareholder they'd all forgotten about. The board meeting was scheduled for Tuesday. His father had called it. To discuss expansion, the email said. My husband didn't even tell me about it. Why would he? I showed up anyway. The room went quiet when I walked in. "What are you doing here?" my husband asked, irritation barely concealed. "I'm on the board," I said simply. I took my seat. His father cleared his throat. "Well, this is really just for shareholders with voting rights." I finished. "Then I'm exactly where I need to be." I opened my folder. Placed documents in front of each person. "What is this?" my husband demanded. "Voting records. Financial statements. Proof of mismanagement and personal liability." His father's face reddened. "Now wait I'm calling a vote," I said calmly. "To remove current leadership and restructure management." "You can't do that," my husband spat. I looked at him. Really looked at him. I own 56% of this company, I said. I can do whatever I want. The room froze. That's impossible, his father whispered. I slid the shareholder agreement across the table. Highlighted. Dated. Signed by all of them. My husband grabbed it. His hands shook as he read. You never said. You never asked. The vote was unanimous. Because when you control 56%, unanimous is just a formality. His father was moved to advisory, powerless. His brother, demoted. And my husband? I looked at him across that table. At the man who'd made me small in front of everyone who mattered to him. You're fired, I said. Not yelled. Not screamed. Just stated. A fact. He stood, face purple. You can't, this is my family's company. No, I corrected. It's my company. Your family just works here. Worked here. Security was already at the door. Escort Mr. Peterson out, I said. He's no longer authorized to be on premises. His mouth opened. Closed. He looked at his father. His brother. They looked away. As he was led out, he turned back one last time. I met his eyes. And smiled. The same smile I'd given him at that dinner. I kept the company. Turned it profitable within 18 months. Sold it for 8 figures 2 years later. I saw him once after that. At a coffee shop. He was with someone new, younger, prettier, just as naive as I pretended to be. He saw me too. Started to approach. I looked right through him. Like he was invisible. Like he'd never existed at all. Because to me, he hadn't. Not anymore. I took my coffee and walked out into the morning sun. Some women marry for love. Some for money. I married for equity. And I always collect what I'm owed.